Hello, hello, and welcome to Talking to Food Safety Professionals. My name is Dr. Jenny Lynn James, and with me today is Dr. Angela Parry-Hanson Kunadu. Hello.
Hello. I'm happy to be here. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So, Dr. Kunadu is a global food safety expert, policy advisor, public health advocate, educator, and researcher, and she's based in Accra, Ghana. Our topic today is educating the public about food safety. So thank you so much for this presentation. I know it's going to be very interesting for our listeners. Tell us about some of your work when it comes to educating the public.
My main work is more of academia, but every now and then we get the opportunity to do some kind of outreach or food safety training for vendors um, or education, public education
Yes,
through symposia or like radio interviews or programs like this
yes,
that I really enjoy. So those are the opportunities we get to share with the general public about food safety. And because World Food Safety Day was this past Sunday, June 7th,
mhm,
it's a time to talk about food safety and to bring awareness on food safety. Foodborne illnesses causes millions of illnesses and deaths around the world. And the good news is foodborne illnesses are preventable.
yes,
Knowing what to do at the right time is important in preventing foodborne illnesses, and everyone has responsibility in preventing foodborne illnesses. So, World Food Safety Day was coined by the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations to bring awareness to this very important aspect of food safety and to let people know, people like general consumers, stakeholders, government, etc., know what actions they can take to prevent foodborne illnesses.
yes. And so at the university, what projects have you all done? University of Ghana.
Um, so the one project that I am currently working on, it's a very small project, but it's part of the what we call in Carbon Collaborative. It's an agri-food system um, project, but this food safety education is part of the entrepreneurship pillar. So there are different pillars,
Mhm.
and the entrepreneurship pillar is basically to empower young people, the youth, in different jobs within the agri-food system
Yes.
and ensure that they have the right tools to succeed.
Oh,
And, the food sector is one sector that employs a lot of the youth, and there are a whole lot of opportunities in there. So I think this is maybe the second year or the second cohort for this project. And they realize that food safety is important. It's a key part of this entrepreneurship journey that a lot of the youth are participating in. So my project is to focus on food safety training for
mhm.
street food vendors, looking at how food safety can enhance their food businesses and how doing things the right way, for example, becoming compliant to regulatory requirements and getting their certification can help their businesses grow, can help them access, you know, more markets, formal markets, etc. Um, so I had the opportunity of training about 50 street food vendors as part
Oh,
of this.
yes.
Yes, and when you're training street food vendors, you really have to be become simple. The messaging
Yeah.
has to be simple and
Yeah.
practical.
Yeah.
And the session was very, very interactive. I really enjoyed it because I got the opportunity to learn some of the practical challenges they face,
Yes.
right? And it goes anywhere from infrastructure, from even one person multitasking so much that they cannot monitor themselves in terms of food safety, to handling, covering food, managing pests, but most of all, how to handle all the intricacies of food businesses and still ensure that the products are safe. I think the important thing that I got from it, and I hope the vendors also got from this training, was that they are somewhat aware of the importance of food safety, how to get it done in a sustainable way is sometimes a challenge for them.
Right. Right.
Knowing ways, practical, feasible, sustainable ways that they can overcome these challenges is important. And it should be presented in a way that is achievable
Well, I
for
have a
them. Right.
question there. If I think of roadside vendors, they handle the
Yes.
food. How are they washing their hands? Because they also handle the money, right? So for me,
Yes.
what is the practical solution to these people who they have to multitask, wrap food, and also take the money and give change?
Well, the money, yes. Yes.
So
So it's
what
one
this
of the things that we talked about. Hand washing. Hand washing is very important. Um, Even having access to potable water for doing
yes,
that, having access to soap and paper towels, it's important. So in Ghana, during the COVID time, there's this bucket we call the Veronica bucket that has a tap at the bottom. That was one good thing that COVID brought. That
oh
hand washing was so important that we
yes,
find these buckets everywhere.
yes,
So it was one of the things that we talked about. Even if you don't have access to a tap, you can get the Veronica buckets, fill them with potable water, use it for your hand washing. Your clients that do come and eat at site can
yes,
also wash their hands using
oh
this
yes,
and have your soap and your paper towels there. But we took the opportunity to really educate them on the WHO 5 keys to safer food. I think the 5 keys to safer food encompass all the 8 hygienic principles that Codex tries to enforce for
okay,
all scales of food businesses, which is one, to keep clean. So that includes washing hands, it
yes,
includes pest control, it includes cleaning and sanitization of food contact surfaces and preparation areas, etc. The second is separating raw and cooked foods, so
yes, very
preventing
important,
cross-contamination, which is
right,
another major problem among street food vendors. Cooking foods thoroughly. So we introduce
yes,
them to the use of food thermometers,
thermometers,
or
right,
even where there's none, making sure that the food boils adequately, giving it sufficient time to cook.
yes,
And four, keeping foods at safe temperatures. So some of them cook the foods at home and bring it to site. Some also cook on site. But most of the time, the food is kept at room temperature for long hours.
yes,
So teaching them that, food should not be kept at room temperature for more than 2 hours. And that if you're selling, some make fresh fruit juices, etc., that are not chilled. So
yes,
by the
good
time
to know that,
consumers are buying, they've already started fermenting, things
yes,
like that. Like, keep cold foods cold and hot foods hot. So out of the food danger zone between 5 and 60 degrees
yes,
Celsius.
so that would
And
be
the
a
last
challenge, right?
key, yes, but there are ways to overcome that. So for some of them, they decided, well, they can cook in small batches so
Uh-huh.
that once that batch is sold, then they prepare a fresh one rather than make a whole lot of food and have to keep it at room temperature for a long time. Others also have warmers that they can use to keep the food warm, right? So the important thing is, again, as part of a business model, know what quantity to prepare, have a pretty good idea of the sales you expect to make in a day or within a certain period of time, and prepare that quantity of food so you don't keep for a long temperature for a long time at ambient temperatures or within the danger zone. Yeah. And the last key is to use safe water and raw materials. Food prices have gone up, and sometimes some ingredients, like tomatoes, for example, in Ghana, there's this funny practice where we have wholesome tomatoes and tomatoes that are going bad or rotten that are still sold, but at much, much cheaper prices.
Right.
And yes, and I mean, a lot of the vendors tend to go for cheaper prices, and they cook with these raw materials, and they end up with a final product that may be defective. Okay, so teaching them that the quality of the raw material is as important as the safety of the final product.
Right.
And how to choose the raw materials well, and how to balance it such that they can still make use of good raw materials and make profits at the end of the day.
Well, that's the thing, making the profit, because that's why they're in business. Well, this has been very, very interesting. Thank you so much for enlightening us as to the challenges of street food vendors, and I have to commend you for your effort in educating street food vendors. So very important, because a lot of busy people do buy food at the roadside, and we want to be sure that our food is safe. Thank you so much for your presentation today.
Thank you.
Please hit the like button, like our video, and remember to subscribe to the channel Food Safety Smart so you can be notified every time we interview another amazing food scientist. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you.